they just put out a trailer for the new live-action Resident Evil movie coming out next month, November 24th, which also happens to be my birthday. Very interesting. And yeah, the Resident Evil movies, man, mixed bag. The live-action movies, not my favorite. The, the CG animated movies, even more of a mixed bag, because some of them I think are actually okay, and then some of them are awful. Netflix just put out a short series earlier this year. I thought it was terrible. So, I'm going into this with fairly low expectations. I have watched the trailer already, but I feel like I haven't really watched it in super close detail. So I think it would be fun to go through it and watch it together. Let's just get started.
Every story has a beginning.
So it seems like Claire Redfield, she's like the main character in this, which is interesting because you got Jill in this, Chris, Leon. No arguments there. Claire's badass, right? But she's definitely taking a larger role, like narratively, right? She seems to be the one that's like onto Umbrella and all of this stuff. She seems like 2 steps ahead of everybody else. So it's going to be interesting to see how they portray her compared to like, Jill and Chris and Leon. So super cool. One thing I will say with this trailer, this is going to take us like 10 years to get through this trailer. One thing they do get right with this trailer and like this movie is just like, you can tell, at the very least, you can tell that they've played the games. They understand it. Like, I'm assuming this is Hunk. It's probably not actually Hunk. It's probably just like a nod to Hunk. But classic Resident Evil.
The origin of evil.
I love that it takes place in the 90s during the Raccoon City incident.
Your conspiracies weren't true when we were kids. They're not true now.
We need to expose Umbrella.
So, cool thing too here is like, it's both Resident Evil 1 and 2 combined into one movie. I know that has some people apprehensive because that's a lot of stuff to cram into one movie. I guess not that much. It really depends on how they do it, right? Like, yeah, you could probably do Resident Evil 1 in a single movie if you have like Alpha Team and then Bravo Team, but it looks like Resident Evil 1 is definitely like, it's almost just like the setup. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire events of Resident Evil 1 is like the opening scene or some shit, you know what I mean? But we'll see how it goes.
Watch this.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're gonna do to this town. You see, Umbrella, they had an incident.
William Birkin.
Novel, if you know what I mean.
So this is awesome. So we know that Lisa Trevor's in the movie, and I'm assuming that this is Lisa Trevor, which is cool. I never would have thought we would have seen Lisa Trevor on the big screen, because she's like such a tragic character, and she totally is like the creepiest part of Resident Evil 1 remake. She's freaking terrifying, dude. Super cool. Let's keep going. Okay, I love that the trucker here absolutely looks like... He looks exactly like the trucker from like even Resident Evil 2 Remake. Why'd he bite me? If he doesn't have that line, I'll be very disappointed.
Why'd he bite me?
Guy's a maniac.
You gotta help us, Claire.
I was a little confused at who this guy was at first. And turns out this is Ben, who was in Resident Evil 2. He was like locked up. He was locked up, I think, by Chief Irons. In the RPD like basement. He's in like one of the prison cells, and he ends up getting killed by Birkin.
Get away!
We'll see how that plays out in the actual movie. But the interesting thing here is like obviously he has like prior contact to Claire. And I guess like he's feeding her information or some shit.
Let the world know what's really going on.
I think this is Chief Irons. In the RPD basement. Super cool. Oh shoot, I can't play this song, can I, dude? Interesting choice of music, I will say that. I don't hate it, I thought it was a kind of a cool... kind of a cool juxtaposition. Okay. Obviously here, we got Leon and Claire. This is like in the RPD. This is probably like the STARS office or some shit. This is like, no, this is like in the, this is like in the storage room or something like that. Anyways, obviously Leon, they did a, they race swapped him, right? Which, you know, I don't want to get too political or anything like that. Personally, I'm like neutral to it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm kind of just like whatever to it, right? But the only thing I guess I find annoying about the whole situation is it just becomes a huge, it's like a distraction. You know what I mean? And everyone's like talking about it. And there's so many things that you can take away and talk about with this movie trailer, but so many people are focused on that when it's kind of just like, it's like whatever, right? But that's about all I'll say about that. Oh, the original mansion. One thing I will say too, man, is they got the look of a lot of the locations down, which is something they've never gotten right, you know, in live action. William Birkin. Maybe Annette Birkin? I think that was Sherry, right? One thing I'll say with this trailer too is like, you don't see a whole lot of Sherry Birkin, which for someone who plays such like a large role in the actual game, Sherry Birkin in Remake, she grounds that story so much. She's so much like, for me in Claire's campaign, especially in Resident Evil 2 Remake, man, she was like the heart and soul of that campaign, man. And there's shockingly a very small amount of Sherry in this trailer, but she is in it. She's there. It'll be interesting to see what they do with like Chris and Jill's character after they're done with like the mansion incident. Like, how much is Chris and Jill gonna be in the movie once they're done this part, right? And then after that, does it just become like the Leon and Claire show? But this is the Spencer Mansion. This is the foyer, and this is just straight up fan service. Super cool. Look at this shot. For some reason, to me, it looks kind of small, right? The scale looks off. I always imagined the Spencer Mansion, the main, you know, foyer when you walk into the place, being a bit more grand, being a bit larger. They got the look of it down. It's just like, it looks too small. Still very cool. Don't get me wrong. You got Wesker there, Jill and Chris. Is that Jill and Chris? Oh, it looks like there's somebody else. Maybe Barry. Is Barry in this movie? He must be, right? Hold on, let's go back to that. What was in the file here? This is Lisa Trevor. Oh, man. They went in. They went in on the lore, man. They did their homework. That's super cool. Super freaking cool. They even got her, like, her freaking mask that she wears and everything. It's crazy. So, helicopter crash at the RPD? No, this isn't the RPD. So, helicopter crash at looks like the Spencer Mansion, right? Wonder if Brad gets taken down. This is kind of cool. So we have like a shot of the head turn. Classic. Let's go real slow here, because some of these locations, like, this totally looks like just like the East Wing, right, of the Spencer Mansion. This is clearly Chris. You know, right underneath these stairs, there should be a save room over there, Chris. Super cool, dude. Gotta have the zombie dogs. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh, boy. That's some CG, boys. That is some CG. So this is William Birkin. This is gotta be near the end of the movie, right? This is like final stage William Birkin. Looking fucked up, right? He's got the eyes on the shoulder, right? Usually it's just, it starts off as just like the one big eye on the shoulder, and then he grows the rest of it out. But this is, yeah, this is like late stage. I wonder how deep they're gonna go in with it, right? I wonder if they're gonna go like train platform, you know, underground lab. We'll see. Because it looks like this area looks like the RPD. It's like the RPD basement. Liquors, gotta have the liquors, very cool. Welcome to Raccoon City. Damn, and that's it. That is it. There's a lot to unpack there, man. Holy. I see it's getting like a mixed reception, which is, to be fair, kind of to be expected, right? And there's definitely, I don't look at this trailer and I'm like, oh, I can't wait, it's gonna be amazing. Like, there's some, you can tell it's not a super high budget production, but at the very least, to me, it looks like they're working with what they got, and it looks like they're very self-aware. If they could just put out like a fun movie, is true to the source material, and you know, kind of has like fan service and things peppered in there, I'm looking forward to it, man. On November 24th, on my birthday, I'm dragging my friends to go watch this shit with me. Whether they like it or not. But of course, too early to say. The trailer, at least, like, it doesn't make me more excited for it, but it also hasn't really left me super let down and disappointed. I need to see the actual film. That's kind of like where I'm left, which is almost a win in itself, because I was expecting the absolute worst. And while this trailer certainly doesn't blow me away, I've seen much worse trailers than this, especially in the realm of video game movies. The movie doesn't need to be a masterpiece. It just needs to be fun. It just needs to be dumb fun, and I'd be happy. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. Are you guys gonna check out this movie when it comes out? Do you think it looks good? Of course, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And when it comes out, maybe I'll come back to the channel and we'll do a review and we'll talk about it. Thanks for watching this one, guys. Peace.